What do you swear on your life to be 100% true? I bowled a 289. Friend that went with me is notorious for making up details. No one believes me. 288 here. Luckily it was in a tourney and I have trophies to prove it. Unluckily, my friends don't give a shit. Very nice, I'm lucky to get triple figures, but in my defense my local alley has a very good bar and I spend my time there between frames. It is the kiss of death to change lines at the grocery store. If I'm having a bad day it can always get worse. Like nuclear bomb detonating in your country and you are outside of the kill zone but in the zone where you get third-degree burns worse. Very similar. You can make things foolproof but the world will make better fools. Reminds me of a Douglas Adams quote, a common mistake that people make when trying to design something completely foolproof is to underestimate the ingenuity of complete fools. The difficulty of designing bear-proof trash cans in a national park is that there is considerable overlap between the intelligence of the smartest of bears and the dumbest of tourists. Saw this at Yellowstone, where people would struggle to open the trash cans and debate just tossing the trash because they couldn't. It's just that seeing other people around them would make them reconsider and eventually someone would help out. And you can't make a sign on how to use it, because the bears will learn how to open it. If you're running late you will be stuck at every possible red light. And if you're trying to take your time because your carry-out order won't be ready for another 15 minutes, you will catch every possible green light. Sunday does not have 24 hours. Sunday is more or less ruined by 11 a.m. I feel it about 2 p.m. I announce to my husband, oh no. It's time for the Sunday blues. If your bus is late, spark up a cigarette and it will instantly arrive. John McAfee's body is still in a freezer in a Spanish morgue. Had a passenger tell me he came into their bar once. Said he had like 6 armed security dudes with him, sat at a table by himself, and paid for his drinks individually in cash so he wouldn't leave a paper trail. Some years ago I was at MegaCon in Orlando, Florida that happened to be going on at the same time as the Libertarian National Convention. McAfee was in a hotel lobby that my husband and I and a few friends were hanging out in. After creeping on some cosplayers, he came up to my husband and squeezed his bicep while asking for an onion ring. It was calamari our friends had ordered. Easily one of the most surreal experiences of my life, lol. Time passes quicker the older you get. Do the things right now that you want to do, don't wait for later. Your brain reuses pathways to make memories when it can. If you do the same thing every day then it reuses them rather than forming new pathways and new memories. Reusing an existing pathway makes time feel faster, forming new ones makes it feel slower. The older you are, the more pathways you have to reuse. The more settled down you are into a routine, the more you reuse the same ones. The more weird and crazy shit you do, the longer your life feels. So go out and do new things, live in new places, try new experiences and you'll have a longer life. Also, adrenaline makes you save memories more vividly, so scare the shit out of yourself whenever you can. So you're telling me that the brain basically creates a cache to reduce memory load. That checks out. The thinking electric meat lump is surprisingly efficient. The makers of baby wipes intentionally wrap them in a way so when you pull one out the container you get 2 to 3 and waste them because they are a bitch to put back in. What I do is I keep an extra empty package of wipes and put the ones that come out unintentionally in that package. It's so much easier to put them in another empty package instead of trying to cram them back in. You always run the risk of not pushing them in all the way so then the package stays open and all of a sudden you've dried out the whole thing. This way you don't have to worry about that and you can just shove them in and close it up. It might be worth a try for you. The way people drive and the way they use a shopping trolley are directly linked. I swear by this, and also how they walk down the street. I'm convinced people who go sideways or stop at the middle of the sidewalk without looking around do the same when driving. Stock market manipulation. You can summon your period by wearing white pants. Or go on vacation, especially a romantic one where you want to have lots of sex. Edit, some people don't like to have sex on their period and that's okay. I, personally, don't like sex while on my period, and I am okay with that. I literally moved my wedding up a week to avoid the period on my wedding day. Didn't matter, my period came a week early. My wife and I try to do a date weekend a month. Every ducking weekend we do it, she will get her period. We even planned 2 weekends back to back and she still got her period. There have been so many times I've thought, well, at least I won't be on my period at some event, only to immediately get my period during that event. Doesn't matter if I just finished the week prior, or am not due at all, it's like my body goes into sabotage mode. You and your wife have my sympathetic understanding. Reddit is a cesspool of misinformation. Every cart I pull at Walmart has at least one square tire. As someone who brings in carts, I can tell you there is a really simple explanation. Customers horribly abuse the poor carts and management is always way too cheap to bother fixing them properly. At my store, once a year they get a repair company to come in and fix the broken ones. The carts are always back to being in bad shape within the month, at most. I worked at Walmart for 2 months when I left the military as a kind of buffer job. I didn't take it seriously at all, and when the maintenance dude left for the day, I'd sneak off to the back room to fix carts until my shift was done. Probably fixed wheels on a couple hundred carts in my 2 months. It was just kind of therapeutic. As a customer, I sadly admit, I appreciate it more than you could know. I am in my mid-30s and can still walk, although I struggle, and choose to use the carts, which make it easier for me to get around instead of hijacking the motorized ones. Being alone is better than having the wrong people in my life. Prove me wrong. They change the Reese's recipe. That the printer will always run out of ink, or that the paper will get jammed when you're already rushing and stressed. Happens all the time. 100% true. 20 years in it, now I do training in tech support and I teach this to my classes. Callers will often be frustrated because technology doesn't generally fail when you're just chilling and have time to kill. It fails at 2 a.m. when you're finishing your major presentation due first thing in the morning. Be kind, be understanding, empathize. Then fix it for them. Conversely, machines can smell an person coming to fix it and will act right when we arrive. All just to save itself from being tossed in the recycler. This is infuriating and happens to me. When I'm finally able to get our person to come out after literal days of my computer malfunctioning and giving me this stupid error code, this electronic whisperer walked into my office and just looks at my computer and it stops malfunctioning and keeps functioning properly till he leaves. Then it shits bricks as soon as he closes the work order and pulls out of our parking lot. Damn it. Black bears are learning that they could benefit from a friendly relationship with humans after seeing how easy domesticated dogs and cats have it. They are in the early stages of trying to domesticate themselves. Source: none. I just see TikTok videos of bears being cute near people. They love the swimming pools and heated jacuzzis. And picnic baskets, the thieving bastards. I believe the spelling in the bear verse is picanic basket. Back pain can make your life a nightmare. Can confirm. Have serious back pain, life is a nightmare. That disagreeing with someone's opinion isn't an attack on them. That I will die in a car accident on August 27th of an undisclosed year. About 15 years ago, a friend of mine told me about a disturbing dream they had. I had died in a car accident, and it was August 27th. They didn't know the year. 2 weeks later, another friend told me the same thing. They had a dream in which I died in a car accident on August 27th. Again, they did not know the year. Here's where it gets wild. These 2 friends of mine had never met. They did not know or interact with each other, had never been in the same room with me. They didn't even go to the same school, nor were they connected on social media. Back then it was just MySpace or AIM. So 2 separate friends from 2 completely separate groups of my social circle had a dream that I will die on August 27th of an unknown year. I believe it. And while it's certainly stressful around that date, it's kind of a load off for the rest of the year. Silver lining and all that. Do you just avoid getting in a car on August 27th? One often meets his destiny on the road he takes to avoid it. Master Oogway.